there, it's Karen here. Welcome back. And we're going to be carrying on working on the little journal that I wanted to create to take with me to my retreat in a few weeks' time. And if you remember from the last video, I made the cover out of an old book and covered it with some white cotton so that I could then use this fabric that I printed from the Mirage kit to cover it. So that was the plan, and here are my 3 signatures that I put together in the video as well. I did some work off camera after I turned off the camera, and I haven't done any more actually on the cover, but I started working on I thought I'd do a hidden spine because I wasn't sure. By the time I added fabric to this, I thought it'd be just so thick to sew through, and also I thought it would just sit better because it's quite curved now to have a hidden spine. So I was going to started making that, and this was the idea of my hidden spine, and I had this digital printed onto some canvas that I was going to put on there, so I thought, well, that would look quite nice. Then I did some work on the signatures. So I'm just going to put this to one side, and this. Started working on the signatures, and I started adding some things. So I cut them down to size to fit into the journal. Then I started adding some more things to it. Nothing really major. I felt like I wanted to make it a bit more lacy, pretty. So I added some lace into each one. And I've also added some fabric into each one. So in this one, I've got this piece of lace here. So I'm just going to move up a little bit. And then as we just flip through, and I cut them down, I folded some of these papers in to make into, so I'm just going to move this along a bit, make sure it's central. So I folded that in. I thought I could make it into a flip or into a tuck. I'm not sure yet. Until I start playing in it, I won't know for sure. And so I just cut a few things down. I added this piece of fabric, which is a Tim Holtz scrap of fabric that I've got. I've got a bigger piece, and I really love it, so I thought, well, I'll just pop that in. I added some washi tape to the book pages here. So I think this one was already joined together. I'm not entirely sure. A couple of them weren't joined and one of them was, but the one that was joined together I did actually add some washi tape to as well because it was a bit holey. So that's on there, and this is the middle. So that's that one. So that's that, and I think there's lots more that could be added, but probably once it's been sewn in. So this one, love this one. This is the stamp paper. I cut this straw paper down, and I just thought I'd make this edge a bit more interesting, so I used my fancy scissors just to cut along that edge, just to make it look more interesting. I added this lovely piece of vintage fabric. I've had it for quite a while. It's quite a big piece, but the roses on it are quite spread out, so it's been something I've found a little bit difficult to use. But there's a lovely rose on there, and I've got roses in this says to a rose. So I thought there's roses in the digitals on this signature, so I thought I'd got that rose there. And then on the back piece, on the other side, there's a rosebud. So you can see that the roses are very spread out, so you'd need to use it on a big enough area to actually get the benefit of it, or you just cut them out, which I could do, but it's such nice fabric, I didn't really want to do that yet. So there's some more washi tape here on this book page, and this one in the middle. This lovely piece of lace. It's not vintage, it's just one I've bought on a roll, or on a by the meter. And I've been wanting to use it, and I just thought, oh, instead of trying to get it on because it's so big, it's quite difficult to fit onto things, so I thought, well, it'll be quite nice to pop it in here as part of the signature. I thought it goes nicely with this digital. Then we've got our bit of book page here, which I haven't reinforced the middle. I don't think it needs it. So yeah, so that's that one. Close that one up. That's that signature. I've just put these on just to hold the bits together because they're all at different heights and things tend to slip about. I have just put these clips on, these big paper clips on, just to hold it together. Then I've got this one. Did I have some fabric in this one? Yes, I did. Yes, sorry, yes. The one with the roses on my brain. I forget almost as soon as I finish what I've just done. So I've got this piece of ledger, which again I've folded it in. I'll move this along a bit. I've glued it down so that this can now have a thumb notch, and then I'll make this into a tuck. I've got this lovely piece of broderie anglais fabric. I had a pack that I bought from Rachel Bella Crafts a few weeks ago of vintage French laces and fabrics. So I just pull that in because I've kept it in its beautiful tissue paper that it came in. Look at this. I mean, this tissue paper is so gorgeous. It's upside down. But I've got to use that somewhere as well. I'm going to have to use bits of this. But I have kept all these lovely laces and things that they brought back from a trip to France, and I bought a pack. And I've been reluctant to dip into it, but I think this piece of broderie anglais, or whatever it is, came from this pack. And I've still got a bit left. There's a few basic pieces of it, but there's some gorgeous laces. I mean, they're just, some of them are so delicate. They're definitely something that I would feel I'd want to hoard. Yeah, there's another piece of the same broderie anglais piece. There's a whole bunch of big pieces, small pieces. Oh, it's just so lovely. I almost I think this piece, I cut this piece. This was a long piece, and this is a bit got a bit chewed up, I think, in the sewing machine or something. And I cut that, and I was going to put that into one of the signatures, folded that over, but it did make it really thick. So I decided to not use that after all. In fact, I might end up cutting off this lovely lace. Not sure at the moment, or I might just use it in pieces. And I'll keep this piece as well because that would make a nice little decorative piece. So I've got these, and I love that. So that's just kind of handy because that's what I'm going to be mainly playing with, I think. When I'm at my retreat, I should take it with me. So we'll just carry on here. I may do something decorative with the straw paper as well again. Not sure at the moment. More washi tape on the book pages to join it together. This is a piece of Roxy Creations fabric. I can't remember if this is one of her printed ones or if I bought a pack from her of fabrics as well. I can't remember I think this was probably one of her printed pieces that I just had a piece left, and I love it. And there's a lot of blue. I'm doing quite a lot of blue. The kit from Roxy Creations, not from Roxy Creations, from Rachel Bella Crafts, was very pink and blue. It had a real combination of the two colours. So I kind of picked out a lot of the more blue colours for this little journal. And so I've got more. I know I've got some pink in there as well. I didn't want to completely exclude the pink, but I have got quite a bit of blue. I pulled out quite a bit of the blue for this. So that's like a backing paper that looks very French and very pretty. So yeah, so this is that's the lace, and then there was the fabric. So just a couple of bits in each one. Lots more to be added, but I just thought it just made the signatures a little bit more interesting. So when I came to look at the cover with the newly enhanced signatures, I realised I'd probably not made it quite big enough. The spine, I mean. I felt like the spine was going to really restrict what I was going to do in here. I thought, I just wasn't sure. It's very stiff. I obviously put far too much Tyvek in it. It's made it really stiff. And it wasn't really what I wanted for this little journal. You know, it's already, I know I've got the clips here, so it's making it stick out. But I just felt it was going to be really restricting as to what I would be able to do with the journal. So I've changed my mind about this. I'm going to put it aside. I will use it for something because I've gone to all the trouble of covering it, and it's still, you know, it's still a perfectly good cover. But I don't think I'm going to use it for this because I wanted this to be a lovely, soft, lacy, pretty, and something I can really enjoy playing with and holding in my hand and things like that. And I wanted it a bit softer and more squidgy. So I've rethunk the whole rethought. I don't know what the hell you say it. The whole cover. I'm not using anything that I was going to use. I pulled out this piece of packaging from a paper bag that was from a supermarket. I considered using it when I was doing my 50s journal cover. It's from one of the supermarkets we have here. It's our local one. And I've cut this to size. So I'm going to take these clips out for now because they're just going to restrict what I can do. And I thought I just want something softer than what I was doing. I still don't want it to be huge, but I want it to be a lot softer, the whole thing, so that there's a bit of room to grow with this spine. I'm hoping I've made this big enough. I don't want it to be huge, and they're not even up to the edge, so there's quite a bit of room there for me to expand this journal. So that's what I'm going to use now. So we've gone almost like I'm starting again, but at least I have decided how I'm going to do it. I've got this piece of fabric. I knew I had it. It was lurking somewhere, and I knew I'd seen it. It's a gorgeous piece of fabric. It's got that kind of French look about it. I have no idea where I got it from. It could have been one from Rachel Roxy Creations. Could have been in that pack. And I'd seen it somewhere. It was at the bottom of a box, and I have so many boxes of different sized pieces of fabric, and this was at the bottom of one of them, and I knew it was somewhere. Couldn't find it for a while, but I've got it now. So that's going to be on the front. I don't know which way round is the front. Is it going to go around like that? So that's going to be the front of my cover. So that's going to wrap around like that. And I just think that's going to go really nicely with the tone of this journal. So I just think that's perfect. Really pleased with that piece. And then for the inside, I've got this piece. It's from a tablecloth, I think. It's one that's got quite a lot of stains in it here and there. I bought it from a charity shop, I believe. And it's got this beautiful embroidery on it. And I've got far too big a piece here. I just cut it down. So I'm going to put this on the inside with this bit of embroidery up here. And I shall cut it down. And in fact, it's a bit torn here, so I'll have to have it above that. Oh, that's a shame. I hadn't noticed that that tear was going to be affecting it. I might just get away with that. Yes, I thought that would be above where I wanted to do it. I might have to cut it across there because this is going to actually restrict how far. I might lose a bit, which is a bit of a shame, but it is the inside. So that's going to be the inside of this cover, so we need to get on with that. And right, so it's one thing at a time. I'm just going to put all my signatures now to one side. See if we can get this done. So what I want to do, I think I'm going to cut this down, or tear it down, I think. I want to maintain all this lovely fraying. So I'm going to cut that down a bit. I hope it tears straight, because I have had experience before, as you may remember, when I tore something and it was not tearing straight. So I'm just going to give myself a bit extra. I don't mind if it hangs over top and bottom. Is this going to tear? Is it going to tear? Not at the moment. It's a kind of linen fabric, and I don't know how well linen tears. No, not for me it doesn't, but it probably will fray, so just got to try and cut it straight. Do my best. Can always trim it off a bit afterwards if it's a bit wonky. So how are we doing for size? Ooh, I've got too much really, haven't I? left myself a bit too much, I think. Should have cut off a bigger piece. That was very foolish, but never mind. It's not straight at the top there, particularly. I'm going to pull it along that way a little bit. Tear a little bit off this, cut a little bit off this side, I think. So I'm sorry I've done a complete about face on this little journal. It just wasn't going the way I hoped. I'm going to glue this on now. I'm not going to glue to the edges. I'm going to sew around the edges as I usually do on these sort of covers. And I'm just going to do about half at a time. No, I'm going to use my bigger bottle. This is going to take forever if I use this little tiny bottle, won't it? Get the big bottle out and spread it as I go. Okay, so we've got that on. I'm just going to trim this off a bit more. Okay. Try and flatten it out as much as I can before I put the next bit of fabric on. I think, I'm thinking I'd like to put a piece of lace along the edge of each. So I'm going to trim this side off a bit as well, because I think I put the lace inside. Let's see. It's not very straight there. Okay. Right, so I think that's the, because I've got this folded over thick edge, so I thought I'd put that at the bottom. And I've got this nice fringing or fraying at the top. Okay, the glue is seeping through a little bit, but I am going to be putting lace on here. That's the whole idea, so it's going to be really lacy. So I'm hoping that that won't show too much. Can't do much about it if it does, I'm afraid. Right, so I haven't really decided what I'm going to put along the edge here. I'm not sure I'm going to use some of this vintage stuff because I want a same on both sides and I probably haven't got enough. So let's just see what I can find. Okay, so I've chosen some lace to go down the two side edges. It's just this lovely soft lace, and I just want that little scallop to poke out the sides. So I'm just going to cut two pieces of that. And another piece. This is some lace I bought from Plum Boutique in the UK, an Etsy shop. and they do some really lovely laces. I've had this quite a while, and this is one of the favourites. I think I've used this one and this one the most. Let's try and get it about the right length. Right. Oh, the other thing I realised when I just briefly turned off the camera, if you remember, I was laying on this piece of fabric and thinking, I've got this torn edge and it's going to mess up because it's not as wide as it needs to be. Well, the reason for that is because I had it on upside down and the wrong way round. So it actually should be that way round. So it's actually plenty wide enough, and the torn edge is at the bottom, which is what I was getting confused, because I didn't think this was going to impact it. It's because I got it on the wrong way. And I also had it upside down. I mean, upside down, so that I had the backing on the front, it's not a lot to choose. It's so neat, but I'm pretty sure this is the front. Yeah, so it will need cutting down. Like, I'm glad I didn't cut it before, because I'd have been so annoyed with myself if I'd realised. So that, I'm going to put the lace on first, and then I'm going to cut it so that the lace it just comes to the edge, but the lace will stick out. So let's put the lacy bits on. Might just use my glue stick, actually. I've been using that quite a bit for lace and some of the thinner fabrics at the moment, and it does seem to work quite well, especially as I am going to be not gluing, I am going to glue, but I'm going to be sewing around all of the edge in a little bit. So I really just want to tack it down, and I want to put it so that this lovely scallop is on the outside. Just have that sticking out enough so that it's, I think that's about right. Is it visible? Yeah, I just want it a little bit visible. I could even trim off some more of the fabric. Just put that there. Might have it out just a little bit more. Just a little bit. So I hope you're well, and I would say enjoying the sunshine, the lovely spring sunshine, but you may well be enjoying some spring sunshine, but we certainly are not. We had a beautiful week last week. Now, I am filming this the day after I filmed the last video. I don't know when I'm going to upload it. Depends what else I get done. It may be the following Friday, in which case whatever I'm talking about now is completely days, well, probably over a week old, whatever I'm saying right now. But I may end up uploading it a bit sooner, as it's a kind of two-parter. I'll see how. Now I need to make sure, actually. Good thing this is not lace that really has a front and a back, but if it does, I'm probably putting it on the wrong way round. I think. Oh, no, I think I should have it. Oh, I don't know if it matters really. Does it? Does it matter which way round it is? If you can't really tell, I think I may well have put it on the front one on the wrong way round, if there is a back and front, because I want it to be the front one facing the front, don't I? I'm going to just quickly swap it over and hope that I've got it right this time. Good thing it just needs to be a bit tacky on here, because I've been able to just peel it off and on again. Right, let's see if it's just in the right, more or less the right spot. I want it sticking out about the same both sides. So yeah, it's going to be hopefully about right. Okay, what I'd really like, perhaps I'll do it after I've sewn it, I'd like this bottom edge to be frayed like the top, because I like that look, and doesn't show up so much when you're not when you haven't sewn it straight then, does it? Right, so now I need to line this up and cut this to size. Let's just turn it that way. I'm wondering whether to use my glue stick to glue this on actually, as I'm going to be sewing. I'm just not sure it'll hold it in long enough in the middle. I don't know. I don't like the fabric glue. I don't really like it seeping through, that's the trouble. So I'm going to try, see if I can tear this. That's not too bad. Oh, I've got a pin here, that must be to do, that must have been for the lace. I must put that somewhere where I know where it is. Let's see. Right, so I just want that above the level of the bag, but below the level of the edge of the. I think I've made it a little long. It's a bit long. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay, and now we need it the right width. So right there. And I'm going to be able to tear this. Not really, a bit. It's too delicate. Right, how's that looking? Okay, I think that'd be all right. Let's make sure I get that on. Covers that whole piece. Okay, so I'm going to have to use a bit of this. Maybe I'll only use it on this side where we've got the embroidery. Okay. Well, certainly sticking it down shows the imperfections in my cutting, because it goes right down here, but it just about covers it, and it's just kind of very wibbly wobbly along here. Got a bit of the brown showing through, which I'm not happy about, but I might just be able to. I'll probably add some extra lace along that on the inside. I'm just going to have to trim that off a bit. So I may well add some more along here. sew that down and hope that looks okay. And I need to, sorry, I will need to just trim some off here. Getting about the right place. Don't want to trim any fabric or anything that I'm not trying to cut. Okay, I think that's just a little bit, needs a little straightening right there. My straightening is not very good straightening. Okay, so there we are. We have a lined journal cover. I think will look okay once it's been sewn around, and we'll add more lace. But I'll be doing all of that. All the extra lace and everything will all be done on my retreat. So this will be something I'll have to show you how far I've got as far as adding decoration to it. But I do want to try and sew the signatures in today, but I'm going to go and sew around this next, and then we'll see about sewing in the signatures. So I'll be right back. Okay, I have sewn around this. I'll show you it a bit closer up a bit later, but I've just got the template lined up in the middle. It's the one I actually made off camera to go with the original cover, so it's not quite as long or as tall as this cover, but most of that is just floppy bits of fabric, not all of it. I have possibly made this just a tiny bit taller than the other one, doesn't really matter. But the basic template works, and I've centralised it here with my ruler, so I've got the 0 here and it's lined up, so I know I've got it central. And I've made I put a couple of little markers where I wanted my signatures to be, or where I wanted to put my holes. I've made them a little wider apart, just a little bit, all the way down. So I've just given myself a little bit more room for the signatures to expand. I haven't made this a lot bigger than the other one, but I think it's just that bit bigger. And hopefully, yeah, I think that should be fine. It doesn't have to be exact, does it? It's me to play in while I'm on my retreat. That's what I have to remember. Perfection is not essential. Right, I've got this old book here that I have used before to poke my holes. I usually use the awl, but not the awl, the book cradle, which I will for the signatures, but I don't need it. I don't think it would work with this template with the 3 holes. So I'll do my central hole first. And whoop, let's just slide it up. And that one, okay. And the bottom one, hoping this is straight. I feel like it's shifted. Don't know. Is that straight? Oh, well, I hope so. Otherwise it'll all be slightly skew with. I don't think it matters too much. It just doesn't look... If this seam is straight, then the template is slightly off. So I might just move it just a fraction across. Okay. Oh, I've done it now. I've poked the hole, so then we'll do this one and this one. I'll push me all through a bit more when I've taken it off. I often use my Big Bite for doing covers, but I didn't really want to have such big holes for such a small journal. So I'm doing it this way. Okay, fingers crossed, they're about roughly lined up. Yep. Right, so let's go through each one and make sure that the holes are reasonable size. Okay, so we have three sets of holes. Now we need to do the same in our signatures, and I've got them ready here. So I'm going to take the template just to get the. I'm going to fold it. I'm going to try and fold it in the middle so that I get it properly lined up. I can poke the holes through the middle in the same places. Okay, then I can sit it in the book cradle. I'm just going to do it this way. So kind of centralise it to where the papers are. So it should be close enough, I hope. And we'll just poke the holes where they are in the template. So I tend to do it, I start with my middle one and then I take it out the same distance either side from the centre to make sure that the holes work for however big the journal is or however many papers, how big the papers are, rather than coming in so far from either end. I tend to go out from the middle. I think this is how Rachel does hers. So I think I've gone about 2.5 inches out on both sides from the centre. So just make sure I go right through. And that one. Okay. I've just put 2 clips in, hoping that's enough because it's not they're not thick. It's not a huge number of pages. Let's get, which is the top? Hang on, which is the top? Am I doing this around the right way? That's the top. I don't know which way I did it on the other one. I don't think it makes a lot of difference doing it this way from the middle out rather than from the outside in. Okay. Make sure I've got the hole. Go through that one. And this one. And the final signature. I do like to use my ruler, make sure everything's down. And get the template. Now, which is the front? That's the top. That's the top. That's the top. Right. Just to make sure. Get it central. And away we go again. And I know you've seen this done a million times. I don't always do it on camera because I manage to make something really simple. I always manage to make it look quite difficult because these things are always a little bit difficult for me. But I'm going to try it because now and again I'm going to just see if I've got any better at it. I haven't sewn in signatures for a while because I've just made that accordion journal, and yeah, I haven't done a sewn in journal for a little while, so I haven't done it for a bit. So I'm trying to remind myself how to do it, see if I can still do it or do it any better than I could before. So I'm going to take my back signature. This is going to be the back one. It was originally my front one. I'm still not sure. Maybe that would be better on the front. I know this wants to be the middle because it's the different kit and it's the slightly different colours. So it's a case of would I want this one on the front Yeah, I do. I think I want this one on the front. Okay. Decision made. Again. Right, so sewing in. Let's get started. So, right. So we want the middle hole and the middle hole here. And so these things are always a little bit challenging for me. I don't find sewing in signatures at all straightforward. But the more you do it, hopefully the better you become, or the more confident that you'll get there. So this one, I need to pull this through there, then through here. This is always the bit I find difficult. I don't know why. Getting it back in through the hole. Because it never just goes through like it does for other people. Well, I know most people do this hundreds of times and just do it without even looking. Because they make so many and I don't. Okay, so I've got to right, there's the hole. Just going to put through a bit more and just make my hole a little bit bigger so it goes through. There we are. And just pull it through because it's quite a fat. Of course, my hands are not very strong. I don't know whether I made to make my hole a bit bigger. All right. Hang on, what's going on here? This doesn't. Oh yeah, because I haven't cut it off, have I? That's why. That's why it feels like it goes on forever. All right. Just put a little bit more through. I will go back through this hole. I think I'll make the holes in my signatures a bit bigger. And through the bottom hole there. Now the hard part. Back through that hole. Yep, that one's gone through. Fine. I do need to pull a little bit more thread through. there. Through there. And remember which way it needs to come. Oh, have I mentioned I don't enjoy that? I have done it. I don't enjoy doing it because I find it really hard to get those needles through. But I've done it. I'm only going to tie it twice because it's small and it will just be too bulky. Okay. So that is the back signature sewn in. And I'm just going to do the other two now and we'll come back. Okay, so there she is. It's my little retreat journal, all sewn in. I did struggle with the sewing in. As you saw me with the first signature, the middle signature, I did a little bit better, but I still struggled with getting the needle through the middle hole, back through to come back in. I really struggled with that. The final signature went through like a dream. I just don't know why. But it always seems to work that way. If I have a good one, you know, if I'm able to put in a signature easily, it's always when I'm off camera, not when I'm on camera. So if you can see that, that's all sewn around. I just used some ivory coloured thread and a zigzag all around, and it caught in the lace as well. And I love that. I love how, I haven't done that before. I have actually sewed the lace inside, and I love this liner. It was just a last minute thought to use this, but I really like that on the inside. And it's just plain on the back, but I can put pockets and things. It's ended up a little bit taller than it really needed to be. It's taller than my papers. The length, the height, I was aiming for about 7 inches, but I think it's higher. Oh gosh, it's over 8 inches. Yeah, it's about 8¼ inches, so it's not far off the size of a normal journal, really. It's meant to be a little journal, but somehow it's grown. I don't think I do small. I don't think it comes naturally to me. So my papers are quite small, but I shall probably add bits sticking up. I'm just gonna have fun with it, sticking bits of fabric, bits of lace, bits of tissue paper. I'm going to use this beautiful tissue from the French laces were wrapped in. I don't know quite what I'm going to do. So has it even sewn in straight? Yes, I think so. I've never sewn in fabrics or laces before like this. So let's just have a little flip through, shall we? So I've got lots of space to play in. Add ephemera, add pockets, add side tucks, add all sorts. I can add extra papers. I've got this lovely lace sewn in. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I might get some advice from my fellow retreat ladies. Gosh, that's actually surprisingly lined up there. I hadn't even thought about those lined up. Got a pocket here to finish off. Lots to do. And I have no idea how much time I'll have to even do any of this. I might end up doing it when I come back, I don't know. But it's been quite fun to make. And then we have the next signature. And you see I've got a reasonable amount of space between them, so they've got a bit of room to grow. And do that. And there was all sorts of things I could have added, but I decided to try and keep it simple. Like that. And my music, a bit of lace, and the back. So that's it. It's my little retreat journal. So it will get covered in more fabric. I will definitely have fabric around the spine. Not fabric, lace. Loads of lace. It's going to be lacy. There. So it is. Hope you like it. Oh yeah, I said it was 8 1/4 high. I'll just give you an idea. It's about 6 inches wide. So yeah, it's hardly smaller at all, is it really, than our normal size journal? But never mind. I've had fun making it, and I'm a lot happier with this. It's a lot softer, more pliable, more playable than the one I had originally. So that's it. Okay, I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.